Hey guys, it's Tammy. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to do a Eid inspired makeup tutorial, but I thought I would try some new products while I'm doing that. So yeah, let's jump into it. Eid Mubarak to all of my Muslim followers out there. So first of all, I'm gonna start with the NYX Total Control Pro drops. These are new from NYX. I used the shade Nutmeg. They're very dewy. I have used it before. It's nice coverage, but it's a very thick and dewy foundation, so you don't need a lot. So I'm just gonna take a little bit. It's better to start with less, and then if you need more, you can add more. It does blend on really nicely, and look at that coverage. But yeah, it almost feels like nothing spreading on the face. It doesn't feel heavy or thick if you don't put too much, but it is kind of like a soft skin-like satin finish. What is this on my nose? I don't know how to describe it compared to the last one. I guess it's a little bit thicker and a little bit more creamier than the last one. The last one was really liquidy, whereas this one, if you can see, when I squeeze it out, it doesn't run as fast. I don't know if they sell both or if this one is just like a reformulated version. And then around my forehead, I take my sponge and just blend that in because I don't want to disturb my edges. The only downside is they are really small, so they're not going to last you a long time. It's only got 13 ml in there compared to other 30 milliliter foundations. It's going to run out really fast. So I also wanted to try out the new Fenty Beauty, what they called Bright Fix Eye Brightener. So from my understanding, these are meant to be like eye preppers or like eye color correctors. They're not really standalone concealers. Everyone that I've seen use this, they've either used it on top of concealer to kind of brighten up or underneath concealer to color correct. So I'm going to use it first. But most likely I am going to top it with another concealer. So I have 3 shades here, 8, 9 and 10. So 8 is Deep Melon. Let me swatch them. So here are swatches of the shades that I have. This one is 8, 9 and 10. So I think for my skin tone, I'm going to go in with shade 10, which I believe is called Honey. And I'm just going to use it underneath one eye, and we can see the difference. So they do say you can use your finger, but because I have nails on, I'm gonna have to use a brush. So I'm gonna take this brush here, which is by KBD, and I'm just gonna blend that out, and we'll see how much coverage we get from this. I think they called it a sheer to light coverage, so I'm not expecting much, but it might just be one of those everyday concealers where you don't want to, or when you're wearing like a tinted moisturizer. Sometimes when you wear tinted moisturizers and go in with a full coverage concealer, it does look a little bit crazy because you can see the difference in coverage on your skin. So this might be really good for those days where you're doing really light coverage, no makeup, you know, but you just want a little bit of brightness under the eye. But I hope you guys can see the difference from side to side. It's just brightened ever so slightly underneath my eye and giving me more of an awake look. It's not something I would use every day, especially not on my glam days where I want to go full coverage bright, but this is a really good one to just throw on and walk out the door type of, you know, vibe. I've pulled out the Huda Beauty Toffee Brown palette because for me this just screams glam. I love yellow mustard browns together with golds. It's just so beautiful. So I'm gonna prime with my Juvia's Place eyeshadow primer. I do really like these eyeshadow primers, but they can become separated in the actual tube, so you want to make sure you give it a shake, because one time I opened it and nothing but clear liquid came spurting out. It's very liquidy compared to the P. Louise eyeshadow base, which are a little bit thicker. So I think I'm going to start with the darkest brown in the palette, this one down here. Maybe mix it with a little bit of this one as well. So these two. Guys, let me show you something so satisfying. I recently washed all of my brushes. How satisfying is that? So much to choose from. So I'm going to start that into the outer V. We're going to do like a standard gold smoky eye with a little bit of yellow. But yeah, what are your plans for Eid, guys? We are just going to my mother-in-law's house for some food, you know, celebrations and all of that good stuff. I was saying to my kids the other day, they're so lucky because they get to celebrate Christmas with my family and Eid with his family. So it's like they get the best of both religions, I guess. These browns are gorgeous. They're applying really nice and deep and chocolatey. Okay, and what I think I'm gonna do is use the same brush. Actually, no, I've got options now, honey. I'm gonna take a different brush. I'm gonna mix these 2 shades, so the yellow and this kind of mid-tone brown, and dust that up by the brow bone. Okay, it's coming out a little bit deeper than I wanted, so I'm just gonna take the yellow alone. Okay, and then going back into the dark browns again, and I'm gonna re-intensify that. Just back and forth motions, blending it in and up to the yellow. I might make this into like a halo eye. I'm already doing it. I'm turning this into a halo eye. So I am going to concentrate the brown on the inner corner as well. It's so funny. I don't know why, yeah, but in real life, things will look blended to the gods. And then on camera, it doesn't. And I'm like, what? Why can't I see that in real life? But might be the trick of the eye. Like all of the lights in my face, I can't see the unblended lines. But if anything's unblended, it's the camera. So before I go in with the shimmer, I'm going to use my NYX glitter glue right in the center. I think I'm going to take the yellow gold down here. This one feels really hard pressed into the pan. Okay, decent. Not the best Huda Beauty shimmer that I've ever seen. Normally her shimmers have like micro glitters in it. This just looks like a normal gold shimmer. I think it's nice, but it's definitely the glitter glue that is saving this right now, because I can tell it's hard pressed into the pan and it's not super creamy and pigmented that I'm used to from Huda Beauty. I'm gonna take that kind of chocolatey brown in the corner here and just use that to diffuse the gold into the dark corners. Could be nice to top this with a glitter as well, just to make it really pop, you know. Let me see what I have. I have this glitter palette from Nabla and it has a really nice gold in it, this one here. So I'm just gonna take a little dab of that on my finger. Just dab over the center, just to make a nice little, you know, glitter moment. Okay, cute. So that is the eyes. So for concealer, I've got this Code 8 Day to Night. I don't know if you've heard of this brand. Natural Polish Longwear Foundation. However, it's too light for me, first of all, and it also comes with a doe foot applicator. So I thought, hopefully it has enough coverage to use as a concealer underneath my eyes. I have a little bit of glitter under my eyes. Let me try flick that away. Hopefully this has enough coverage to like be a concealer. It is supposed to be a foundation, but you never know. I'm going to give that a moment to sit down and hopefully the coverage will be more. But I'm going to take the Soul Body Colourpop bronzer in the shade Deep, which is the bronzing balm. So it's a cream. And I've really been loving this Real Techniques, what do they call it? The Rebel Edge medium brush to kind of cream bronze. There we go. And also around my forehead and my jawline. I don't really like the smell of this Colourpop thing. It really does smell like hair grease, but it is a nice formula. It blends on really well. It does remind me a little bit of the Patrick Tar cream bronzer now that I'm thinking about how it blends on. It's not super pigmented. It just kind of melts onto the skin really well without loads of blending and effort. Okay. It's looking promising. It looks nice. It's like a high medium coverage. It is a little bit tricky to blend because of course I let it set down. You see what I mean? Like I'm blending over this part right here and it's taking a little bit of elbow grease to get it moving. But that's my fault because I did leave it to sit down. Yeah, I'm definitely putting that in my concealer drawer. That is a beautiful concealer. Looks really nice. Okay, the sun just completely went away. Let me brighten this up a little bit. Wow, the sun just completely left the building. Okay, so now we're gonna set, and here comes the sun. So I have these new powders from Lottie London. It's their new pressed setting powders, ready, set, go. I have translucent and I also have warm translucent. So I'm gonna take warm translucent because I do like a warm under eye. If this does fail me, I do have my Maybelline powder on deck, ready to go. And just press that underneath my eyes. Oh, so I'm just pressing that on. I wouldn't necessarily say this is translucent. You can definitely see it on my skin. I'm just hoping that when I'm ready to kind of dust it away, it does dust away cleanly. So far it does look really nice and smooth, but it does have a color. So what I'm gonna do is just take my sponge and press that into the skin and we'll see what happens. Okay, I might have to go over this with something to darken it down a bit. What the hell, man? It said translucent, dude. So what we're gonna do is take my Maybelline Fit Me powder and hopefully this will just bring the color back to what it should have been. To me, translucent powders don't change the color of your concealer, and this has definitely changed the color, made it brighter, made it really light. So I wouldn't say that it's translucent, but yes, this Maybelline powder is about to save my whole look. I mean, the formula of the Lottie London powder was nice, so if you find a shade that does work for you, or if you think that translucent shade would work for your skin tone, like a light medium skin tone, then go for it. The formula was nice and it was really nice and flawless. So I totally forgot that I wanted to use the Charlotte Tilbury liquid cheek stain blush things. I'm still going to use it because I haven't actually powdered this area of my very little powder. Yeah, we're still gonna try it anyway. So I have these 3 shades here. They're all like a variation of red coral. I think I'm gonna go for, they're very sheer. I did use these yesterday for the first time and it sheared out a lot, so they don't give much color. So I'm gonna take this shade here, which is called Love Chain. What I'm gonna do is scrape it out onto the back of my hand like that, and then what I like to do is take my brush, get it nice and saturated on the brush, and then dab onto the cheeks very gently. So you see how it's like a soft tint of color. It's really not super pigmented, even though it comes out looking super pigmented. Once it applies to the face, it really does sheer out. They're not going to go as strong as the Made by Mitchell blushes if you've tried those, which are very pigmented. This is still, at the end of the day, like a cheek stain, so it's not going to be super pigmented, but it has decent pigmentation and I think it would work for multiple skin tones. So yeah, I just like to blend it on like that, and I will go back in with my brush that I had my powder on and just dab over the edge so it melts into the under eye nicely and there's no harsh line here. Okay, so that is that. I'm gonna move on to my lower lash line. Let me get a brown eyeliner. So Juvia's Place has this nice brown eyeliner in Cocoa. I'm just gonna put that in my waterline and also along the lower lash line to prime for the eyeshadow. Now going back into the palette, I'm gonna take the brown and just blow that out underneath and gently dust a little bit of the yellow as well under there. And then last but not least, the inner corner, I'm going to take this shade here. I'm going to put on some lashes quickly. These are Doll Beauty Samantha lashes and I'll come back to you. Okay, so lashes are on. Let's go ahead and move on to bronzer. So in the same package that I got the Charlotte Tilbury, these things, I also got their new Instant Look in a palette, which I was, when I saw online, very disappointed in the shade selection. They only have 2 shades and it's like light and fair, and this is what it looks like. So as you can see, the bronzer is lighter than my skin tone. This eye shade up here could be used as a darker bronzer. It is really warm, but you could if you wanted to use it as a bronzer. Should I try and use this as a bronzer? Let me swatch it. So this is what it looks like. It's really red tone, but it might just work as a bronzer. I'm gonna try a small dab of it on my cheek and see how it comes out. Just gonna take a small amount of it because it is really pigmented as well. Yeah, no, it's really warm tone. It almost looks blushy. I mean, it does work, but you shouldn't have to make something work. Do you know what I mean? They should have just come out with a deeper option. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is my Fake Beauty spots. I also got this Vieve Skin Dew, which I tried for the first time the other day, and this is beautiful. It didn't break up my foundation. It looked really glowy and almost wet looking on the skin. Really nice. So what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of it on the back of my hand. Look how glowy that is. Stunning. So I'm just gonna dip my sponge into it and just dab it onto the tops of my cheekbone, and look at this dew. How dewy and wet looking is that? I'm also going to take a little bit of that on the nose. So last but not least, for lips, I have the new lip glosses from Holly Boone's brand, which is HNB Cosmetics. So she came out with 4 shades. One of them was a dark chocolate brown lip gloss. The other one was like a gold shimmer, and then these 2 are like nude lip glosses. They're really pigmented. I have used this one before, which is Low Key. I think I'm going to use it again today because it will go really nicely with this look. But there's also Woke, which is another gorgeous nude. Can you see it there? Gorgeous caramel nude. But Low Key is this very pale nude there. You guys see? And for lip liner, I'm taking the Nabla Nude 6 liner. and melting the lip liner in just makes that nice kind of soft ombre, so it melts into the lip gloss nicely. So I'm going to take Low Key. Is this Low Key? Oh no, this is Woke. I took the wrong lip gloss. It's too late now. We're gonna have to use this one today. It's a really nice nude anyway. Really nice formula. It's quite thick. It does feel like a very pigmented, thick lip gloss. Not super sticky, but it does have a little bit of tack to it. But it's not an uncomfortable stick. It's just a thicker gloss, but really nice color, really nice pigmented lip glosses. So that is it, guys. This is the look. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face quickly with the Benefit Professional Setter. How delicious is that glow? Wow. Okay guys, so here we have the finished look. What do you think? I really love it. I feel like it will go with anything that you're wearing. It's glam, it's beautiful. I really enjoyed everything that I used today. Most of them I had used before, apart from the concealer, the Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette, and the Lottie London powder. Everything else I had tried at least once before. So yeah, I kind of had some thoughts on it. The NYX foundation is really nice. Not a lot of product, and it's definitely more suited towards normal to dry skin. So if your oily skin is not something that's going to last you all day, you would definitely need to touch up throughout the day. It's not oil proof like their what's their other foundation that's really matte? NYX Stay Don't, no, it's not Stay Don't Stray. What's going on? Say It Won't It? Hold on, that's gonna bug me. I need to get the name. Can't Stop Won't Stop. I couldn't for the life of me remember that name. But yeah, it's not as oil proof as their Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation. The Charlotte Tilbury cheek and lip tints, really, really nice. The Vieve Skin Dew, if you're into wet looking glowy skin, you would love this. The Lottie London powder, nice formula, but it definitely wasn't translucent. So if you're my skin tone, I don't think you should go for this. And that is it, guys. I really love how my makeup has turned out today. Eid Mubarak to all of my Muslim followers. Once again, I hope you have an amazing Eid. And that is it for today's video. So go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Take care. Bye.